What a game. One of the strangest Laker games I've ever seen. Couldn't really buy a shot. Just couldn't push through. Welcome back. I'm Charles Ryan, your host. This is Lakeshow's finest REDUX playoff edition, bubble playoff edition. Not a lot has changed between the first 8 seeding games and this game. We've had our ups and downs, obviously, but tonight was one of those games where so many different things were going on. It was very strange, from the refs calling every single touch foul to missing 11 free throws, only making 5 threes, missing 27 threes, AD missing 16 shots. It was just a very strange game. The Lakers didn't play that bad. That's the weird thing. The Blazers didn't do anything to the Lakers to make them play poorly. It was the Lakers that really just shot themselves in the foot. They lost the game by 7, right? It was much closer than that, really. If you make 5 more free throws and 1 more 3, there it is. You can't miss 27 threes. Even LeBron and AD, collectively, they were 1 for 10 from the three-point line. I don't get it. There are a lot of bright spots in this game. Dwight Howard. Oh, my God. He only played 14 minutes, but it felt like he played 25 minutes. He was active. He was getting fouls called against him, but he was also getting on people's skin. He had offensive fouls called against other players. He had 4 offensive rebounds. Felt like he had way more, but he was a +7, and he had 5 fouls in 14 minutes. Half of those were ridiculous, obviously, because all these calls. But still, I mean, he got steals. He had 1 steal. He got his hands in more passing lanes than I remember. I mean, then it seemed like Dwight was awesome. That was one of the best Dwight games I've seen maybe all year. The rotations were a little bit weird. I don't understand why Dion Waiters literally got 1 minute in about 13 seconds. Vogel put Dion in the last minute of the second quarter, the last minute of the first half, and I don't think he touched the ball once. What was the point of that? I guess he was siding with Morris more? I don't know. If you have Dion in, you're going 11 deep. So, I get it. I'm sorry, you're going 10 deep. So, that was the 10 I'd really talked about before. And now when Rondo comes back in the next few games, if he does, that will be even more of a just different take on this whole lineup and what's going to happen. Will Caruso get less minutes? Who knows? But I didn't like how Vogel didn't play Dion as much as he should have. That was weird because Dion got a lot of minutes in the seeding games. Marquis played okay. I mean, the bench had the best plus-minus of anybody. 5 bench players played. Really, it's 4. So if you take away Dion's 1 minute, all the bench players had a positive plus-minus. Caruso and Morris had +12s. The starters all negative. Anthony Davis, -20. Danny Green, -20. JaVale, -9. KCP, -18. LeBron, only -3. So, it's just strange. Give Dion more of an opportunity. But at the same time, you didn't really need Dion because the shots were there. The three-pointers were there. You have Dame Lillard making contested 35-foot shots, but we can't make a wide-open corner 3. We make a 3, get offensive rebound, another 3, wide open, can't make it. We had 17 offensive rebounds, while the Blazers only had, I believe, 5. Of those 17, I'd say half of those were missed layups, and then getting the offensive rebound for that. So many missed layups. Anthony Davis missed so many layups. I just don't understand what happened this game. I don't get it. I think next game they're definitely going to win. I take Lakers in 6. I was watching Inside the NBA, and Charles Barkley was talking about the Blazers sweeping the Lakers. First Charles Barkley said he thinks the Blazers can defeat the Lakers in the first round. And then he changed it to he thinks the Blazers are going to the NBA Finals. And now he says a sweep. I think there's no chance of it being a sweep. I think it's Lakers in 6. This is much different than the Bucks. Sorry, I'm looking up these stats real fast. Much different than the Bucks situation, because obviously the Bucks are playing a Magic team that doesn't have the same firepower, same 1-2 punch. So I'm not worried. I'm just worried about the little things. You can't miss 11 free throws. You can easily fix those things. The rotations weren't bad, but give chances to Dion. Danny Green, not so great. 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. But like I said, pretty good active hands. KCP had 1 point, was 0 for 9. What the heck, man? He missed 1 free throw, 0 for 5 for 3. Even if KCP just played mediocre, we would have won this game. He did play 30 minutes and had 1 point. Can't have a much worse outing than that, really. I like Kuzma, 30 minutes, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block. He was only 1 for 5 from 3. He missed 9 shots, 5 for 14. So just made a couple more. But overall, this was obviously Kuzma's first playoff game as a Laker in his career. And I thought he played decent. I think he had a little bit of jitters. He even said that in the post-game interview. But, he was a +5. Caruso played so-so. I thought he played good, but he only had 2 points. Was 1 for 6 from the field. But defensively, I thought he was awesome. 3 assists. And 2 turnovers and 3 steals. Morris, besides that nice and one he had, only 5 points. He was 1 for 1 from 3, so he was the only one that was 100% from 3 on our team and probably the game. But he needs to shoot more. If he's going to play 20 minutes, he needs to shoot more than 2 shots. And he was 2 for 2. He had 3 rebounds. He had 4 fouls. Dwight, I said it, he was awesome. And then, Dion, 1 minute. So let's talk about the Portland stats a little bit and about Dame and his effort in this game and how quiet that outing was for him. Dame, he scored 25 points or something like that in the first half, but it was super quiet. And even Charles Barkley said this at halftime. I totally agreed. He was in control, but it didn't feel like he had those 25 points. And then, of course, he finished with only 34. He was really not engaged in the third quarter. And then in the fourth, it was Dame time. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block for Dame Lillard. And he shot 9 for 21. And his sidekick, CJ McCollum, who, as most people know, is playing with a fracture in his back, he had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 1 steal. Shot 8 for 20. The announcers talked about during the game that he's one of the best at jump shots and pulling up, and he had the most jump shots made in the regular season. He played awesome on those pull-ups, and every single time I thought, no way, and then he made it. He made it over really outstretched hands of defenders like Kuz sometimes, and I thought Kuz played great defense whenever he was switched on to Dame or CJ, but yeah, he just kept making those shots. Nurkic started the first quarter with 10 points and 10 rebounds, but he finished with 16 and 15. So from there out, he only had 6 points and 5 rebounds in the final 3 quarters. So the Lakers kind of shut him down and took advantage of him, and they got him in foul trouble too, which was great. And some of that was Dwight doing his under-the-skin technique and trying to aggravate and get his opponent to do something silly and have them draw a foul, which he did. And not too many other people stand out. Wendell Gabriel, Gabriel, he started. I don't even think he played that much for the Blazers all season, but I'm not sure why he got the start. I thought Trent usually starts, and Trent played awful throughout the game. He had a couple threes in the corners where they literally hit the top of the backboard, and so did we, but of course the 1-3 he makes is the dagger with 1 minute left. So I don't understand why he didn't start. I guess they wanted more size, which makes sense. You don't want to put Carmelo on AD. But Gabriel didn't do his job at all. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block. I don't know. Really was undersized, especially on the offensive rebounding. He couldn't do anything with AD. And then everyone's favorite, the underrated, slender man, thin Melo with 11 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He did shoot 3 for 11 from the field, but like Trent, he made it count on that big 3 in the final couple minutes. And besides Trent and those guys, Whiteside played okay. Whiteside actually had 5 blocks. Really, in the fourth quarter, that's when he had those blocks, and that was really, oh man, that was deflating. You would think LeBron AD, especially LeBron, he took it to Hassan Whiteside a few times. He got blocked. You would think he would know to dish it out when he sees a hand coming at him. But, yeah, 5 blocks for him. And then Hazonia, who's just terrible. Probably the worst player in the league. I said this before. I really like Bill Simmons, and I even quoted some of his stuff from his podcasts on here. And he thinks Mario Hazonia is the worst player in the whole entire league. And I could not agree more. He was terrible. 2 points. He airballed a 3. Even Bill McDonald and Stu Lance trying to remind us about how good he was when he was in the Knicks. I didn't understand that. A lot of time the announcers play up players. I'm not sure why, but they do, and it makes no sense. So, Lakers, got to get this win. This is a must win. Can't go down 2-0. Just can't. And, Charles Barkley did say this. He said this was a must-win for the Lakers. And I didn't completely agree with him. But the way the Blazers played, I think he was right. For all the talk about how the Lakers shot themselves and they could have easily made easy fixable things like making free throws and not missing a million threes, the Blazers didn't shoot that well either. But that was because of our defense. Blazers didn't do anything with their defense. We were wide open. So, yeah. Must win. I think Lakers in 6. I'll talk about some other series real fast. First game, first impressions. I'm worried about the Celtics. No Gordon Hayward. I still think they can beat the Sixers, but that's only if Tobias Harris keeps playing like Tobias Harris and Josh Richardson keeps playing like Josh Richardson, which means not doing too much. Celtics up 1-0. I do think they'll win that. Marcus Smart will fill in nicely for Gordon Hayward. More in the East, Bucks, I think they'll win 4-1. The Magic defeated the Raptors in the first game of the first round last year. They did it again this year. Doesn't matter. So I think 4-1 Bucks. What else? Pacers, Heat. I think Heat 4-2. I like that. I like that a lot. And then, Magic, Bucks, Pacers, Heat, Celtics. Who else am I missing? Right, Raptors, Nets. I think Raptors sweep. And then in the West, I think, Rockets, Thunder. Rockets go up 4-2, win 4-2. Actually, no, 4-1 Rockets. Lakers 4-2, like I said. Jazz, Nuggets. I think Nuggets win 4-1. I do not like the Jazz at all. I think Jordan Clarkson is just awful. And I really want the Jazz to lose. I don't like the Nuggets or the Jazz, really. Kind of one of my least favorite teams, and the way that the Lakers have gone against those guys. And especially the Nuggets' behavior with Jamal Murray and that Lonzo thing. But I really want the Jazz to get crushed here, and I think 4-1 there. And then Clippers-Mavericks, that game last night was completely absurd. Chris App's getting thrown out like that. But I still think Clippers in 6. Montrezl Harrell looked tired in that game. But yeah, I watched all the games today. There's 4 games today, which means about 10 hours of basketball. And I watched pretty much all of it. So this was a lazy day for me. But real quickly, also on Bleacher Report, they have this thing where you do these picks, and you pick right. You win a PS5. At least that was the first one. If you make 5 perfect picks, and I was one off. The picks were from the Spurs Clippers, Mavs Clippers games is it was who to make the first basket. Porzingis, Harden, Porzingis, Leonard, Paul George, or other. I picked other, and of course I think Leonard hit the first basket. That was one I got wrong, but the other ones I got right were Clippers win, Paul George makes a 3 before Kawhi makes a 2. No, it was Paul George makes a 3 before Luke makes a 3. I got those right. But that's a really cool thing. I checked that out. But, it's just like picking to win it, and if you get a perfect score, you win stuff. But the Lakers game, I messed up. I said LeBron would get a triple-double, would not get a triple-double, and of course he has one of his biggest ever. I said that the Lakers and the Rockets would win. Obviously, the Lakers lost. I said, what did I say? Yeah, there was one. Who takes the first shot? James Harden takes a 3 or Chris Paul takes a 2. James Harden took the 3 first in the Rockets-Thunder game. So I got that right. But, and then does anybody get ejected from this game? And I said no. And, of course, it almost happened. But, yeah, I got that right. Thought maybe Dwight would get ejected. It was close, though. All right, so that's the podcast. I thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. I'm going to recap every single game, unless there's one game that really pisses me off and I don't want to talk about it. Because, if it's a sweep, I'll still do every game. I'm going to finish this out. It seems like my videos aren't getting as many views as before. My other videos kind of average, like I'd say, between 100 to 200 to 300 views per pod/video. And that's not really happening right now, but it's okay. I'm still going to be consistent and post for you guys. So thanks again for listening. Once again, I'm Charles Ryan, Kobe24 MP3, KB24 status, the biggest Lakers fan in the world. And let's get this dub. We got this. Peace.